That video was an interesting request. It was, did Slam Magazine ever match Sports Illustrated? Like, did it become a cultural equivalent? Yeah, for a while it did. Um, I did a video recently about XXL Magazine and The Source. Well, Slam Magazine was the basketball magazine that was what you call the black equivalent to SI. And as a matter of fact, for a while, it was definitely raking it in. It was modernized. You know, I think ESPN magazine came out in the O.O.s because they needed some street cred. And I remember when it first came out, but Slam had definitely taken over the streets because the fact is they had the most uncut interviews you could hear anywhere. Like to this day, I remember when Allen Iverson, and I know what he ends up saying for the media, and he was a big Jordan fan, but I remember quote for quote that he was quoted as saying in Slam, "You can have Jordan's game. Give me Latrell Sprewell's." That's what his direct quote was. Only in Slam did you get that rawness and that street. Now, obviously, they got corporately bought and paid for, but for a while, Slam was definitely on the streets. I mean, stuff on Marbury and KG on the cover, Shaq and Kobe, D Wade. You saw people, and they put people that you could identify with on the cover. See, on SI and the mainstream magazines, you had to be a crossover sensation. They wasn't just putting you on the cover. You had to sell. There's a term I use about selling jerseys and being successful. Well, you had to sell. They weren't just gonna put you on unless you had gone corporate. So this for a while, Slam was definitely happening. Now, obviously, SI is more iconic and all that, but Slam did give SI a run, especially in the mid to late '90s, because the hip hop era base. One of those things is that those markets that weren't tapped by modernized younger black audience and people of a certain age, they had first time they had something to choose from. Now, obviously, and I can do another story about every era's had something that was dedicated to black folks as far as magazines and stuff. But this was the first one where the music and the sport captured the culture, unlike other eras, because it wasn't cotton candy crossover token. This was really raw. And Slam was definitely a premium magazine that reflected the culture and that it took on the aesthetic. So it was truly a groundbreaking experience when you think about what Slam meant for the culture at the time and how it parlayed and where it stands. So if you feel that way, let me know because I'm curious because I remember I used to buy Slam. I used to read Slam. They gave their top 50 greatest players ever. There were certain similarities, but there was differences. And they had opinions. Now I haven't touched it in a minute, you know. But I used to read it and and I really dug where they were coming from because they were doing it their way. They really were about it. And they did infiltrate onto ESPN as a matter of fact, you know. But one of the cats, I can't think of his name right now, he ended up getting a gig on ESPN. But Slam really did have the streets for a moment. And they did represent. And they actually went where Sports SI and them wouldn't. Because we always had to do the black version. And before people always ask, well, how come and like that? Because it was segregation. It was really, still is. In entertainment, that's why you have to create your own lanes because if you don't, you'll never get hurt. And they're not going to run after you unless you can sell some jerseys or some copies. Let's keep it 100. That now, when you see Ant Edwards in Minnesota, he's getting crossover sensation now. If he came out in the '90s, would he been half as big as Latrell Sprewell? I'm just telling you. You have to look it up for yourself. Wasn't that long ago? And when you need platforms to showcase you, anyway, please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.